Have you ever felt like you're experiencing life in HD, while everyone else seems to be watching it in standard definition? You walk into a room and you don't just see people. You feel the subtle currents of their moods, the unspoken tensions, the fleeting joy or underlying weariness. A simple conversation isn't just an exchange of words. It's a symphony of subtext, a dance of intentions. You absorb emotions, ideas, and observations with an intensity that can sometimes feel overwhelming, sometimes like a secret language only you understand. Here's the thing nobody talks about. This isn't just a personality quirk or something you can simply turn off. It's a fundamental difference in how your internal world is wired, a unique way your brain processes the vast, intricate tapestry of human existence. You're not just an observer of life. You're an active, deeply resonant participant in its emotional and intellectual currents. The world speaks to you in a different register, and you hear it with profound clarity. What you're going to understand today isn't just about feeling things more intensely. It changes completely how you see your own internal landscape, your interactions, and perhaps your entire place in the world. It's a revelation about the quiet power you inherently possess. This feeling, this deep resonance, doesn't mean there's something fundamentally wrong with you. It doesn't mean you're too sensitive, too emotional, or somehow flawed in your perception. In a world that often celebrates speed, superficiality, and a certain kind of emotional resilience that borders on detachment, it's easy to feel like an outlier if your default setting is depth. It's easy to internalize the narrative that you should just toughen up or not take things so personally. But this is where it gets interesting. That common belief, that push towards a more hardened exterior, often misunderstands the incredible psychological richness that lies beneath. It presumes a universal emotional operating system, when in reality, human psychology is far more diverse and fascinating. There are real, tangible differences in how our brains are structured, how our neurochemistry flows, and how our past experiences have shaped our internal processing systems. These aren't defects, they are variations. They are different ways of being, each with its own unique strengths and challenges. So no, this doesn't mean you are strange, or that something is inherently broken within you. It means you are part of a significant, often misunderstood segment of humanity that experiences the world with a heightened sense of awareness and emotional processing. It's a distinct psychological profile, one that contributes immense value to the human experience, even if that value isn't always immediately recognized by the majority. And neuroscience explains why. Consider the concept of sensory processing sensitivity, often referred to as being a highly sensitive person, or HSP. It's not a disorder. It's an innate trait found in roughly 15–20% of the population, across over 100 species. Research by Dr. Elaine Aron and others has shown that individuals with this trait have nervous systems that process stimuli more deeply and thoroughly. This isn't just about loud noises or bright lights. It extends to emotional nuances, social dynamics, and subtle environmental cues. Your brain, when processing information, might be engaging more areas, making more connections, and holding onto details for longer. For instance, fMRI studies have indicated that highly sensitive individuals show greater activation in brain regions associated with awareness, empathy, and the processing of sensory information. This includes areas like the insula, which integrates internal bodily states with external sensory input, leading to a richer, more nuanced experience of emotions and sensations. This deeper processing means you're often picking up on things that others simply miss. The subtle shift in someone's tone, the unspoken anxiety in a room, the profound beauty in a passing moment. It's like having a finely tuned antenna, constantly receiving signals from the world, both internal and external. Now, if you find yourself nodding along, realizing that this deep dive into human experience resonates with your own, you're in the right place. This channel is dedicated to exploring these very dynamics, to understanding the hidden mechanisms of the mind that make people like you, those who think differently and feel deeply, such crucial contributors to the fabric of human understanding. If you're someone who craves these deeper insights, who feels a quiet thrill in uncovering the invisible truths of psychology, consider joining our community. It's a space where your depth isn't just understood but celebrated. But this is where it gets interesting, and perhaps a little uncomfortable. This deep internal processing isn't always a conscious choice. Our brains are master architects of habit and unconscious reinforcement. Take the neurological mechanisms behind attachment and identity. Early experiences, particularly those involving caregivers or significant social interactions, can profoundly shape how our brains allocate resources to emotional processing. If your early environment, for instance, required a high degree of vigilance, a keen awareness of others' moods or unspoken expectations, your brain adapted. It literally built stronger neural pathways for deep scanning and emotional absorption. This becomes a powerful, often hidden neurological mechanism. The brain, seeking efficiency and predictability, reinforces these pathways. Dopamine, often associated with pleasure and reward, plays a complex role here. While we often think of dopamine as driving us towards external rewards, it's also deeply involved in learning and motivation, reinforcing behaviors that lead to predictable outcomes, even if those outcomes are simply a deeper understanding of a situation. The reward for someone like you might be the clarity that comes from dissecting a complex emotional situation, or the sense of security derived from anticipating potential interpersonal pitfalls. This sounds contradictory, but your brain might be unconsciously rewarding your deep processing, not necessarily with overt pleasure, but with a sense of control, understanding, or even safety. It's a deeply ingrained loop, and because this processing happens so quickly and automatically, it often flies under the radar of conscious thought, making it feel less like a choice and more like an intrinsic part of who you are. This is more serious than it seems because it means you're operating with a sophisticated internal system that has been honed over years, often without your explicit awareness of its underlying mechanics. It's a powerful engine, driving your perceptions and reactions, a silent force shaping your world. Now let's explore two distinct psychological profiles, two archetypes that illuminate this difference. On one side, we have what we might call the external processor. This individual thrives on action, external validation, and tangible outcomes. Their mental energy is often directed outwards, solving immediate problems, engaging in dynamic social interactions, and finding meaning in visible achievements. Their emotional regulation might involve externalizing feelings, seeking immediate solutions, or deflecting intense introspection. They might process information quickly, focusing on the gist rather than every subtle detail. On the other side, there's the internal cartographer. This profile, which likely resonates deeply with you, is characterized by an intricate, sprawling inner world. Your energy is often directed inwards, meticulously mapping emotional landscapes, analyzing patterns, and seeking profound understanding. For you, meaning isn't just found in external achievement, but in the nuanced connections between ideas, the depth of personal relationships, and the quiet satisfaction of genuine insight. Your emotional regulation often involves deep reflection, internal processing, and a desire to understand the root causes of feelings, rather than just addressing their surface manifestations. Both profiles make perfect sense. One is designed for rapid navigation and outward engagement, the other for deep exploration and internal integration. Neither is inherently superior. They are simply different adaptive strategies. The external processor might excel in high-pressure, fast-paced environments. The internal cartographer, however, brings a depth of perspective, empathy, and insight that is invaluable in other contexts, in creative pursuits, in understanding complex human systems, in fostering deep, authentic connections. You, in your quiet observation and profound absorption, are not merely reacting to the world. You are interpreting it, often with a level of detail and nuance that others simply bypass. This difference extends profoundly into how empathy is allocated and experienced, and how it shapes our identity and self-esteem. For many, empathy might manifest as a quick, surface-level understanding, a sympathetic nod, or a practical desire to fix a problem. Their self-esteem might be tied to how effectively they can navigate social situations, how much positive feedback they receive, or how well they can maintain a cheerful, problem-solving facade. External validation becomes a significant pillar of their identity. But for people like you, those who feel everything so deeply, empathy is often a full-body experience. It's not just recognizing someone's pain, it's feeling a resonance of it within yourself. It's not just understanding a perspective, it's almost inhabiting it, seeing the world through their eyes, feeling the weight of their choices. This profound empathetic capacity can be both a blessing and a burden. It allows for incredibly deep connections, a true sense of emotional attunement that can be rare and precious. But it can also leave you vulnerable to absorbing the emotions of others, blurring the lines between your own feelings and theirs. Because your internal world is so rich and resonant, your identity often forms around this capacity for depth. You might define yourself by your insights, your ability to understand complexity, your genuine connection with others. This means that external validation, while still present, might hold less sway than internal congruence. When someone truly sees and understands your depth, it's profoundly validating, far more so than superficial praise. Your self-esteem is less about what you do and more about who you are, an intricate, feeling, perceiving being. You are not just processing emotions. You are generating a profound sense of self from the very act of feeling. This is not a weakness. This is the core of your authentic power, the wellspring of your unique perspective. These deeply ingrained preferences and capacities aren't accidental. They often have invisible origins, roots in our past, our defenses, and our lived experiences. It's not about pathology but adaptation. Consider childhood experiences that might have fostered hyperawareness. Perhaps you grew up in an environment where emotional safety wasn't always guaranteed, where subtle cues from parents or peers dictated the emotional climate. Or perhaps you experienced moments of rejection or exclusion that, rather than hardening you, made you more exquisitely sensitive to the nuances of human interaction, more attuned to the potential for connection or disconnection. Your deep processing isn't a flaw, it's a sophisticated survival mechanism, a way your brain learned to navigate a complex world. This heightened sensitivity, this profound capacity for feeling, became your internal radar, scanning for threats, opportunities, and the hidden truths beneath the surface. It's a form of emotional intelligence that developed in response to your unique life narrative. You learn to read between the lines, to anticipate, to deeply understand, not just as a choice, but as a deeply ingrained way of being in the world. And neuroscience further supports this. Early life stress or even subtle environmental factors can sculpt the developing brain, particularly areas like the amygdala, involved in emotional processing, and the prefrontal cortex, involved in regulation and decision-making. These experiences don't break you, they simply tune your system differently. They make you more observant, more reflective, more prone to introspection. You didn't choose to be this way. Your brain, in its incredible wisdom, adapted, creating a mechanism to help you thrive, or at least navigate, the world it found itself in. Your depth is a testament to your brain's remarkable capacity for learning and resilience, a finely honed instrument shaped by your personal history. This divergence in psychological makeup also profoundly influences how we seek and find meaning and purpose in life. For many, meaning is constructed through a narrative of external achievement, career progression, financial success, social status, the accumulation of tangible experiences. They are the participants in the grand external game, constantly moving, creating, and measuring their worth by observable metrics. Their sense of purpose is often tied to the impact they have on the outer world, the stories they tell about their accomplishments, the roles they play in visible communities. But for people like you, the internal cartographer, the search for meaning often takes a different, more introspective path. You might find profound meaning not in the external narrative, but in the intricate dance of understanding, in the quiet revelation of insight, in the depth of a connection. You are less concerned with being the participant in the external sense and more akin to the spectator of your own rich internal landscape and of humanity's broader psychological currents. This doesn't mean you are passive. It means your engagement is often more internal, more reflective, more about deep integration than outward projection. You might find meaning in a philosophical concept, in a piece of art that speaks to your soul, in the unraveling of a complex problem, or in a conversation that truly delves beneath the surface. Your sense of purpose often comes from making sense of the world, from connecting the dots, from finding patterns in the chaos. Neither approach is superior. One builds towers, the other understands their foundations. One sails the seas, the other maps the currents. Your meaning is not less valid because it is often less visible. In fact, your capacity to find meaning in the subtle, the profound, and the invisible often grants you a richer, more resilient sense of purpose, less susceptible to the fleeting tides of external validation. This internal orientation also connects directly to states of flow, presence, and consciousness. The concept of flow, popularized by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, describes a state of complete absorption in an activity where time seems to disappear and performance is effortless. For many, flow is achieved in high-energy activities, sports, fast-paced work, intense social engagement. They become present by being fully immersed in external doing, their consciousness focused outwards. But for people who feel deeply, your path to flow, to that exquisite state of presence, often lies within your own axis. You might find flow in deep contemplation, in creative expression that allows you to translate your rich internal world outwards, in intricate problem-solving, or in truly authentic, deep conversations where ideas and emotions are explored without superficiality. Your consciousness becomes completely absorbed not by external stimuli alone, but by the internal processing of those stimuli, by the intricate dance of thought and feeling. When you're in this state, you're not just passively receiving, you're actively engaging with the layers of reality, making connections, drawing insights. This kind of flow is often quiet, intensely focused, and deeply rejuvenating. It's a testament to the fact that presence isn't just about being in the moment. It's about how your unique mind engages with that moment. You're not losing yourself. You're finding yourself in the depths of your own awareness. You live more in your own carefully constructed internal world, your axis, than in the chaotic, often superficial demands of the external. This is not a retreat. It is a profound form of engagement. So let's be clear. You are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not too much. You are not missing out on anything by not conforming to a more superficial, externally driven way of being. In a world that frequently rushes past the intricate beauty and profound complexity of human experience, your capacity for depth is not a hindrance. It is a profound, silent advantage. Your ability to feel everything so deeply means you can connect with life, with art, with ideas, and with people on a level that few others can. It means you possess an innate wisdom, a nuanced understanding that allows you to see the invisible threads connecting everything. You are an invaluable interpreter of the human condition, a quiet force of insight and empathy. This isn't a burden to be managed. It's a superpower to be embraced. Embrace your depth. It is your truest compass. If this exploration has resonated with the quiet hum of your own inner world, if it has offered you a moment of recognition and clarity, then you understand the core of what we explore here. Consider subscribing to join a community that values depth, insight, and the profound journey of self-understanding. Here, Your unique way of experiencing the world isn't just accepted, it's celebrated as the powerful gift it truly is. It's a space where introspection isn't a solitary pursuit, but a shared exploration, where questions are welcomed and insights are amplified, helping you not just understand your unique operating system, but consciously wield its power. You'll discover practical ways to protect your energy, set boundaries that honor your sensitivity, and translate your profound inner wisdom into tangible contributions to your life and the lives of those around you. Here, you'll find not just acceptance, but strategies to harness this profound capacity, to navigate the world without dimming your light, and to connect with others who see the world in similar vibrant hues. This journey of understanding yourself, the internal cartographer, is not a destination but a continuous unfolding. And in that unfolding, you deserve to be supported, empowered, and truly seen for the extraordinary being you are. Your depth is not just your truth, it is your enduring strength, a beacon in a world that desperately needs more light, more nuance, and more genuine connection. Welcome to a deeper conversation. A conversation that acknowledges the rich tapestry of your inner life, where your sensitivities are understood as strengths, and your quest for profound meaning is met with shared curiosity rather than superficial dismissal. This isn't about fitting into a mold. It's about building a bridge between your intricate internal world and the external reality, allowing your authentic self to emerge, unburdened and powerful. It's about learning to speak the language of your soul and finding others who speak it too, creating a collective echo of understanding that empowers each individual voice. Here, you'll discover that the quiet strength you carry within is precisely what the world hungers for, a genuine, empathetic connection born from a place of true depth. This is your invitation to not just exist, but to flourish, guided by the very essence of who you are, making your mark not by shouting, but by profoundly resonating. Let's explore together. This exploration will equip you with tools to not only understand your internal landscape, but also to navigate the external world with grace and integrity. You'll learn how to transform potential overwhelm into focused insight, how to honor your need for solitude while still forging meaningful bonds, and how to harness your intense emotional experiences as guides rather than burdens. Your journey is a testament to the power of introspection, and in this shared space, you'll find strategies to protect your energy, cultivate inner peace, and translate your profound empathy into tangible acts of compassion and creativity. This is where your sensitivity becomes your strength, where your quiet observations turn into powerful visions, and where your deep feelings become the wellspring of an authentic and impactful life. Join us and let your unique light illuminate the path forward for yourself and for a world yearning for genuine connection. Together, we'll delve deeper into the nuances of your emotional architecture, exploring advanced techniques for emotional regulation that don't dampen your experience but refine it, allowing you to feel fully without being overwhelmed. We'll uncover how to articulate your profound insights in ways that resonate with others, bridging the gap between your inner world and external expression. This community isn't just a refuge, it's a launchpad for your deepest self, empowering you to move from quiet observation to impactful contribution, carrying your depth as a banner, not a shield. Here, your unique perspective isn't just appreciated, it's essential, a vital piece of the puzzle for a more compassionate and understanding humanity. Your journey is a testament to the fact that true strength often lies not in rigidity, but in profound sensitivity and the courage to explore the unmapped territories of the soul.